I want to thank all of you for being here today. This was one topic where I really stayed behind the scenes. This one was probably too personal for me, and I wanted to leave it in the hands of some people that I knew would represent the city well as represent me well. And oh my goodness, did they ever. I couldn't have been more pleased with all the folks that rallied behind this particular cause, this particular topic. Just so many to relay, but let them know that I just so proud that they were in the arena, so proud that they fought so hard for something that they cared about so much for the people of Sioux Falls, and certainly for the people that visit our great city as well. Thank you, community. Thank you, Sioux Falls. Thank you, everyone. The city councilors will attest that there's probably never been so many emails, phone calls, voicemails, letters, and yes, lobbying done on behalf of a topic during their public service journey. And let's be clear, it wasn't just the big organizations like the American Cancer Society, American Heart Association, or the American Lung Association that wanted this to pass. There was an avalanche of public and private businesses and citizens that were fighting for this. A couple of them really stood out for me. The passionate testimony of Melissa Nestall and her 9-year-old daughter, Hannah. Hannah's mom, Melissa, presented the best public testimony that I've ever heard in my almost 7 years as your mayor. Her daughter was impacted by tobacco, an adult-oriented activity outside in a park in our town. And she's not alone. Having Tom Walsh and Great Life take a stand and make a commitment to replicate what the city of Sioux Falls would do, it took a ton of guts. And it set a great example for the rest of us. This isn't about money and business for Tom and Great Life. This is about health for everyone, even while you're playing golf. As with any of the work that the City Council does, I appreciate their work, and I certainly understand their sacrifice. This job is so hard, and I know that some of the councilors truly struggled mightily with this decision. They did what they thought was right. Now, I need to do the same thing. I will let the Sioux Falls people, I'll let them know what I think is right in my gut, in my head, and in my heart. Just like the 8 city councilors did. This new ordinance, it just simply does not go far enough. I wish this new ordinance that is aimed at protecting youth and youth activities extended these protections to people of all ages. It's not just youth that are impacted by the devastating effects of tobacco. It's not just youth that can change their lifestyle habits when it comes to using or not using tobacco. And it's not just youth that can get sick and ultimately die from one of the biggest causes of preventable death. Medical science has proven that exposure to tobacco is a significant risk for anyone of any age. This ordinance does not go far enough. And because of that, I'm not going to sign it. However, even though I'm not signing this ordinance, you all need to understand that it will still go into effect as it is written. The executive branch will execute this new law or this new ordinance to the fullest extent to promote the public health, safety, and welfare. Public education will be the main focus of these efforts, and it always was. We will encourage tobacco use cessation efforts citywide. And no matter what you've heard, this ordinance will not criminalize tobacco use. Our police team and our parks teams will not be pulling out all the stops to track down tobacco users at our city parks or places where youth activities take place. And we're not going to be jailing anyone for smoking or chewing tobacco. The legislative branch of city government, they have acted, and the executive branch will execute it to its fullest. But I hope this isn't the end. We must extend the protection from the harmful effects of tobacco for all ages so that everyone has an equal opportunity to participate and enjoy all sorts of activities and events at any city property. We do look forward to assisting the City Council with additional efforts to make our community healthier for everyone's benefit. If the Council is serious about finding compromise or common sense solutions or common ground to do that, we are certainly ready to support those efforts. We've certainly had plenty of time to do that already. Our first meetings with the City Council on this topic started as early as June of this year, and they've continued since then. You know, presentations were made to Land Use Committee back in September, and yes, an informational to the full council happened way back in October. However, in any case, we will move on. And we're thrilled that some of the councilors have spoken publicly about doing a broader ordinance. When they are ready, we are ready. During public testimony last Tuesday, there was one gentleman that really spoke passionately against the ordinance that the City of Sioux Falls had recommended. And what he did is, at the end, he handed out an article that he felt would prove that smoking bans were unnecessary. I read that article a couple of times, and I really appreciated some of what was written within that article. Near the end of it, it says that if people feel that they're being toyed with and the evidence is not presented in a straightforward way, it's going to backfire. Then it says officials should just shoot straight and be open and be honest about why they feel the way that they do. I've never failed to be open and honest with the folks that I'm blessed to serve. Here's another dose of that honesty. I hate smoking because it killed my dad. And not only did it kill my dad, it's going to kill your dad. And it's going to kill your brother and your grandma and your friends and your kids. I am very passionate about this topic, probably too close to it, But I do think that if we truly care about health for all, we do need to realize that any tobacco use, whether it be the smoking that my dad did or the chewing that another family of mine, member of mine, is doing right now, that the odds are good that it's going to kill them. And I hope that the council will work in tandem with the executive branch and do more. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be some common ground. There's got to be some compromise. There's got to be something more that we can do to ultimately protect health for our citizens and for the visitors of our great city.